So if you want to wire things up like a light bar or anything, you need to get this off, and that's what we're going to do. Didn't see a video, don't subscribe. I do not make videos and post them for money or anything, so don't subscribe. Let me know if this helps you out. I couldn't find one, so I figured we'll get her done. Alright, I'm going to try to capture what it takes to take this hood off. Just going to get her done. That screw, that screw, that screw, that screw. Takes a 10 millimeter. These pop out. You unscrew the center and pry up. There's a little rivet there. I'll show you how to get those off. You push the center in and pry the outside out. Sorry for this. There's a little screw right there inside the fender wall. Another one right there. Here I started to take this one out. Hopefully you can see that. Just push in on the center and pull the outside. In my case, I put my winch switch up here, so I'll have to take those two screws off as well. Also inside the two cup holders there's a little screw. I forgot to mention it's an 8 millimeter. I don't know how easy this is to see. There's another one of these little clips. You just push in on the center button and pull it out. One on each. Try to do this with one hand. There it is. There's another little plastic rivet that's hidden. Try to get the light where you can see it. But right there, that has to come off as well. A little harder to reach. It's underneath this fender. I want to. So here we go. Takes about 30 minutes, I guess, to figure it out the first time. I just took a bungee to hold this up. That way I don't have to take the roll bar off. And some little grooves there that these slide into. So, and there is where those plastic rivets go. I get a good look at them. This isn't a rivet, that's just a sort of a guide. And that's where we took the screws off. It's kind of elegant, really. And now you're supposed to look for a brown and red striped wire that's only hot when the key is on and the motor's running, I guess. And it's inside this little boot here. Sorry about the camera angle. So there it is, brown and red. That little white sticker says a plus for positive, and that's a hot wire. That's where you would hook up a relay for turning on a fuse box, or turn that you only want to run when the key's on. And this gives me access to the panel, so I can drill my holes and add switches, etc. So this is all you really need. A 10 and an 8. Phillips, a little straight, Ziploc bag to get to this. Maybe a yellow bungee. It's also going to be handy to take off this console, which just got a bunch of those little rivets. Push in on the center, pull out on the outside, try not to ruin them. And then this whole thing comes off. There's about 3 on each side, I think. I guess you can cut and splice into this brown wire with the red stripe, but I had an old set of lights and I found a little connector that's the right kind of male barrel connector. Okay, there it is. It's all nice and connected. So there it is. 8 rivets and a good yank, and it comes off, and there's these plastic rivets. And you can see I've already ran some wires. It's real important to keep it away from the drive line and any kind of thing that moves or gets hot. So that's the deal with all the wire ties. So this was from a previous project, so I'll be adding some more wires to this. There's the drive line. You can see these 2 tubes down here get hot. They're from the radiator. Okay, I'm in get her done mode. Decided to mount my light switch here. Just using one of these kind of drill bits to go as big as I need to go until I can get it in there. Kills me to drill into something brand new, but this little switch button has a groove on the side, so I just had to cut a little groove in my hole. Keeps it from spinning, I guess. So there's my new light button for my light bar. Here is the underside of it. And put a little E6000 on it because I don't know about you, but I vibrate the heck out of my machine when I go on these rocks out here, and I don't want it popping off. There it is, wired up. Red, white, black. Red, white, black. Just going to take this, drop it down this hole. Sorry if you don't see what I'm seeing. And there it is on the inside. Now this is the relay. We got to find some place to wire it, or screw it down. But we first need to make sure all of our wires reach. So you got to feed this wire along with all the light wires all the way to the front panel, or wherever you're going to mount your lights, your mounting bar. You can do it however you want, but remember, stay away from the hot things and things that move. This is how I did it. Wire sort of fell out down here. I'll be rerouting it up here and over. So here's how my button looks. I could have bought a $75 Kawasaki button, but I just used the button that came with it. And if you use the other buttons, you have to Dremel out the squares. Here is my mess of wires. There's a bunch more wires for other projects, but it's important nothing's touching the drive line or anything hot. I'll go around to behind the dash. You can see I've tucked this wire down. There's the switch behind the dash. This is where I put my wires. Haven't connected them to the lights yet. There's always different ways to do things, and sometimes you figure out the better way after you've done it one way. But probably strapping the wires right to this other harness would have been fine. It does come very close to this hot pipe, and it does again up here. So I'm not unhappy with the way I've done it, but something to think about next time. If you want to strap it down here, go underneath here, come out there, I think that would work just as well, maybe even better. Okay, so here's my button that turns on the light bar. And when you have the key on, the light comes on. Here's what it looks like under the seat. I ran out of zip ties, but it'll look a little prettier. So this is all the wires that I need to put inside a casing and make them look pretty. But pay no attention to this. That's all for my hoist on the front, my winch. The little wire for the slave relay for the winch is this one right here. Since the light bar came with its own slave relay, I'm just hooking up the power to the light through its own fuse to my fuse box. I think it was like 11 or 12 bucks. I bought it on Amazon. And then there's the slave relay. It's a 200 amp, but this is only good for less than that, so it's a little bit of an overkill. But all the power comes to the fuse box right here. It's only powered when the key is on. So it comes from this relay, and this relay goes back to the battery. And then you have your, put all my ground wires on a ground screw right here. This is the lead coming from the brown and red striped wire under the dash that I showed you. And if everything goes to heck, I have a 150 amp fusible link with $8 on Amazon. So, for example, if this wire was to be leaning on something sharp and it was to cut and short out, we will not have a fire. So, I could have cut this fuse out and used one of these fuses, but I didn't. Maybe I will someday. So anyway, that's it. I hope this has been helpful. Do not subscribe. I do not post videos. I just did this because I couldn't find one online, and hope it helps somebody. If you want to leave me a message, I don't check my email that often, but you can. Thank you.